Hello, I'm David Vogelpohl of WP Engine and Genesis. And what I'm going to show you today is how to use the block editor in WordPress, also known as Gutenberg. In order to do the demo, I've created a fresh version of WordPress, basically WordPress out of the box. What you're looking at here is the front end of WordPress out of the box. So this would be the public-facing website. In order to show you the Gutenberg editor, though, we're going to go to the back end of WordPress, known as WP Admin. We're going to go ahead and navigate over to Pages, and we're going to create a new page together using the block editor. Now, if you've used WordPress in the past, you may notice that the editing experience inside WordPress looks a little different. That old editing experience we now call the classic editor, but the view you're looking at here is the default view for the block editor. And as you can see, unlike a Word doc for your website or a rich text document editor, as we had before, the new editor is much more of a blank slate. In order to start using the block editor, we're going to start with the plus sign up here, which is how you add a block to your website. In a vanilla version of WordPress right out of the box, certain blocks are included with the editor, and in addition to that, plugin providers and theme providers can also create blocks that you can use on your site. If you have your own internal development team, or if you are a developer, you can also create custom blocks from scratch. So there's a lot of flexibility in how you can use the block editor. The blocks that come out of the box in terms of WordPress itself include very simple blocks, but very useful blocks. By sake of example, we can quickly add a heading. We can change the type of heading it is to H1, H3, H4. This is helpful for SEO. We can bold the text, we can align the text, we can add links. And on the right side, we have what's called the inspector panel. The inspector panel provides us additional design and customization options like colors. So in this example, I'm controlling the settings for this block, and I can easily change the text color. I can change the background color, and I can configure those in a way that I think looks best for my site. Now, if you're a developer or if you have a development team, you can absolutely still use CSS. You can create a custom block from scratch, or you can take this existing block and modify the CSS to look exactly like you want. So this is fundamentally what the block editor is, and by using the blocks included with Core, you can actually start to create a really compelling website. So even in this example, I can quickly add a quote element to my website. Now, of course, the default state doesn't provide a lot of blocks, nor a lot of options for the blocks. And of course, that's partially by design to allow people using WordPress the most flexibility to build a site that's important to them. But of course, developers being developers have created all kinds of wonderful tools to make this even better. And I want to show you a couple of the ones that we've made here at WP Engine and Genesis. In order to illustrate that, I'm going to navigate to the themes area in WordPress. And as you can see, we have the 2020 theme active. This is the theme that came with WordPress itself. We also have the Genesis framework, which is a framework for building themes. And then we have this theme called Authority Pro, which uses technology in the Genesis framework to deliver a fast experience, and not just in terms of like the website, but also how you build with it. So let me show you what I mean by that. We're going to go ahead and activate the Authority Pro theme. And as you can see, there's a wizard included with it, which is basically installing my recommended plugins, and we'll also install demo content, which includes blocks. So let's go ahead and run that wizard. And what you'll see is that the process of installing the plugins, loading in the pre-designed and pre-optimized block-based demo content, ends up happening in seconds. This is something you would have in the past used tutorials, articles, and a lot of steps in order to accomplish what's happening in this wizard right now. And as you can see, we've just installed the recommended plugins automatically. And in a few seconds here, there we go. Our demo content is all installed and we're all done. So as long as it took me to describe that was how long it took. But of course, in the past, this is something that would take you hours, even if you're a professional, and if you're not, days or weeks or months or maybe even never. Okay, well, it's not going to take us that long. We can actually go start looking at this stuff right now. So one of the first places I'll direct people when going through a flow like this is actually to the homepage. So let's go edit our homepage. We can actually go take a look at the front end of the website. I'll refresh it and we can see that our website looks significantly different. This particular theme is focused on influencers. It's focused on people with a personal brand. It's called Authority Pro. And as we see, the theme has installed demo content relative to that use case. Now, of course, this content doesn't match what I want my site to be about, so I think I need to go in and edit it to be a reflection of me. So in order to do that, I'm now on the back end of WordPress. And if you'll recall from the previous example, we're in the editing view. Now within this view, we can see a representation of the demo content that we saw on the home page, and all of this is editable. So I can go in here and, my name's David, not Kelly, so I'm going to do that. And actually, I am teaching you how to grow your audience and build an online business, so I'm going to leave that the same. But of course, maybe I want to come in here and replace the picture of Kelly with a picture of me. I haven't uploaded one before, but let's just say the glasses one is me. Okay, there we go. And so I can quickly update those pictures if that isn't the right format. For example, that one seems a little too, I'll actually back out of this. This one seems not well formatted. Oops, I want to undo that. No worries. Control Z, and I go right back to where I was. So this is the power of the block editor, the ability to edit your content inline, to be able to add content in a way that's beautiful, to be able to leverage the inspector setting panel controls and the controls within the blocks themselves in order to create an experience that is specific to your brand. Another thing that you can leverage are plugins in order to take advantage of blocks. So I'm going to show you what that looks like so you can get a better idea of what's possible. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and add a new page. This will be a blank page. And I have no content at all on the web page. But I'm going to use this Layouts button, which was added to WordPress by a plugin called Genesis Blocks, which is free and on WordPress.org. So when I click Layouts, what I see is that I have a lot more things to choose from. Genesis Blocks adds blocks to the plus sign area of WordPress, but it also adds these things called sections, layouts, and actually in the future something called collections, but let me show you what sections and layouts are. So sections are basically a part of a page. So let's say that we were building a website and we needed to add a page about a section on our page about our team. Okay, no problem. There's a team members section for that. And all we have to do is click on it and we've injected those blocks automatically onto our page. As you can see, we have different options available to us within the block. So we can, again, determine the line height, we can control other aspects of the block, and we can even control things like how many of these people's pictures are shown, of course, what pictures they are, what their name is, and so on and so forth. And so a section is a part of your website that leverages blocks. And then the other option we have in layouts is in the layout selector is layouts themselves. And this would be like a whole page of demo content. We're adding to this collection over time, but let me just show you one example now. Maybe we want to start a freelancing business and we need a page that talks about our freelancing business. Well, again, I can just click right on this element and it loads in all the content needed for my freelancing business demo page. So this is the power of the block editor. This is what the block editor has brought to WordPress, is really the ability to create content more intuitively, but also to be open and extensible. Also to allow developers to create custom blocks, custom sections, custom layouts, custom themes and experiences that serve you and your brand. And that ultimately is the power of WordPress and why I'm such a big fan of the WordPress block editor.